Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and today we're visiting with Clara Taylor Wheeler. She's with Kentucky State University as an area horticulture agent there. So all these are your beautiful houseplants.
Yes.
And so, I think a lot of people, they would love to bring more houseplants into their home, but maybe they're a little intimidated or they don't know enough about them. And so today you're going to help us. And so we're going to start here. Could you tell me a little bit more about these plants?
So both of these are Pothos. They're also, the scientific name is Epipremnum. So if you're ever in a big box store, sometimes it's either under either one of those names. They are one of the most common houseplants ever. Most of the time people don't really know that this and this is going to be the exact same thing.
Yes, I didn't realize that they even had, I've always seen this, but I've never seen this.
Yes, so there's a bunch of different varieties. So this is a golden Pothos. It has lost some of its variegation color because I have it really pulled back from a window. But with any Pothos, if they've started to kind of do that, you can just increase their lighting, and they'll have more of those characteristic, traits like that will pull more of this color. This is a Cebu blue Pothos. It is one of my absolute favorites. It has like that blue silvery color and a really pretty elongated leaf. There's also many different ways to grow a Pothos, which is really neat. You can grow them trailing. You can also grow them on a moss pole, which is vertical. And when you grow them vertically, the leaves get much larger and they can actually like fenestrate, and they'll have a bunch of different holes in their leaves, which is really interesting.
Oh, so this one would have that? And see, you can see here, this has a long trail.
Yes.
Right? And so is it recommended just to let them continue to trail, or do you need to shape them or prune them?
I personally prune mine all the time. Not necessarily intentionally, but I like to share my plants. So when I'm sharing my plants, I'm cutting them from the bottom. And I also like to do that because then it prioritizes growth from the top. So it makes the top much bushier, and prettier instead of having like one long Pothos strand. I've cut on this one even a million times, and that's why it's so bushy at the top and not very long. Just so it kind of compacts space. You propagate these by stem cuttings. So I can just hold up an example here. So all you would do is just cut this as far back as you want. And on each side of this little petiole, there's a little node there or an aerial root, and you can just cut that and put it in water and it'll root.
How hard are these to take care of?
Not hard at all. They are so simple. Honestly, I hate to admit it, this one I forget about most of the time. It has gone through a lot of neglect. I probably at one point, it might not have been watered over a month. Oh. And it's fine.
There you go.
And it's fine.
So low maintenance. This
Very
would definitely be low maintenance.
Yes. The only thing that I really would recommend is putting it in light. Most people think, as we have mentioned before, that low light, means no light, but they do need more light than you would think. But watering regularly, fertilizing, I fertilize maybe once every 2 to 3 waterings.
How do you fertilize? With like a liquid something in liquid form?
I fertilize with a liquid soluble fertilizer.
Okay. And what about the container for these plants? Does it matter about the container and the container size?
With a really large plant like this, I do try to opt for like a plastic pot, just because it will be so much lighter than terracotta or ceramic or something that can really hold a lot of weight. But the most important thing is to look for a drainage hole. As long as there's drainage on the bottom of the pot, then you'll be fine. Okay,
because they don't like wet feet then. Yeah, so we want something that will drain, and then we water them just when the soil gets dry. So these are really neat. Now, another low maintenance plant is this holiday cactus, right?
Yes. There are 3 different types of holiday cacti. There's the Easter cactus, the Thanksgiving cactus, and the Christmas cactus. And all of those are going to bloom when their name suggests. So if it's an Easter cactus, it's going to bloom around March or April. Christmas is going to be in December, and then Thanksgiving around November, fall-ish.
Yeah.
But so this one, I have a mix of all 3. So it should be blooming, throughout the year. It is, you can tell, it's a pretty immature plant. It's very small. So it's not giving me any blooms yet, but I just got it recently. So I'm hoping, this year will be the year for blooms.
Yeah, and that's kind of neat because a lot of times you have one and you only get one flush of blooms. But with having all 3 in one pot, it'll kind of bloom most of the year.
Yeah, they do want to be treated more like a tropical plant than a cactus. So they can withstand longer periods of drought, more than like this plant could. This plant or a peace lily might just completely droop over during long periods of drought. They can tolerate it, but they do prefer to be treated more like any of these plants here, where you're watering consistently.
Okay.
So I treat this plant like a tropical plant rather than a cactus. And it's doing pretty good. It's got all kinds of these little new leaves on here. They're the light green. That's all new growth. But I do try and water about once a week to once every 2 weeks.
We appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show and hope you have a great day.